All right, Tech fans, it's that time of year. Georgia Tech and Georgia meeting for a three-game series in baseball beginning Friday night on the Flats. And that means we've got to have a Tech Talks brought to you by EGP Document Solutions. And we're going to have Aeden Finateri, Georgia Tech's top starting pitcher the first two seasons, join us. Aeden, thanks so much for the time, man.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me.
Well, you've been off to a great start so far this year. Now a junior, you've got 18 strikeouts, so your first couple of starts, a couple of wins. Why have you been so successful those first two turns through the rotation?
I think it's definitely two things. Just pitching in college baseball for 2 years. Had a lot of innings last year, but I would definitely say a lot of success goes to our new pitching coaches, Matt Taylor, Richmond, and Deck, and all the work they've put in. And just the preaching, throwing strikes, getting ahead. And then when you have guys in finish counts, finishing and doing your job on that end.
You've also incorporated the high fastball a good bit this year. Anybody who's watched you pitch sees that you've got a lot of swing and miss up there. Why do you think that pitch has been successful?
I mean, just looking at the TrackMan from my bullpens or even the lives in the fall, my fastball does have a lot of ride, especially coming from a lower slot. So it seems like it's going to stay as a strike longer than it does, and then it elevates above the zone. So hitters, as they're making their swing, think it's a strike, and then it elevates above. And that's definitely been a big breakthrough pitch for me throwing that this year. And I feel like that's definitely contributed to a lot of my success.
And there are pitchers all across the sport that have utilized the high fastball to their advantage. A pitch that you use that I almost can't find anybody else who uses it is the palm ball. Now, I know that's been a topic the last couple of years, but it seems like you've used that a little bit more these first couple of starts. Can you tell me where did that palm ball come from, and why is it effective against opposing hitters?
No, definitely. It actually originated. I went to a pitching coach when I was about 10. I wasn't fully grown yet or developed or anything like that. So, try grabbing the ball like this. And then, eventually your hand's going to get big enough to, close and throw a circle change. I was like, all right. So I started throwing it when I was around, like, I want to say 10 years old. And the movement on it was great. And I never ended up closing and making a circle change because, I like the movement on it. But I'd say throughout, my high school years, even early in college, the consistency of me, throwing in the zone or not leaving it hung over the plate was a bit of a problem. But that was something I definitely worked on this offseason and even earlier this fall, just making sure I'm getting that pitch in the zone. And when it is, it's low in the zone or on and down. So it's definitely contributed to, me having a good year as well, playing off that high fastball.
And you've got some flair too when you're out there on the mound. I noticed this year you've got a yellow glove, which is a little uncommon. You've also got some things inscribed on it. What exactly? How have you personalized your glove this year?
To be honest, I was didn't really know what to make my glove this year. I was like, don't really want to make another basic glove. And I was actually making the glove at a restaurant and they had a caution slippery sign. I was like, oh, like that'd be kind of funny, like if I modeled it after that. So it's actually made after a caution, like wet floor sign. So my the thumb on the glove does say caution, and then the pinky says slippery when wet. And then I just did my own touch of tossing some money signs on the pointer finger of the glove. So that's the inspiration behind that.
I love it. And I think that's something that a lot of people may not notice unless they know to look for it. A lot of you guys have some different, whether it's inscriptions on your glove, if you're a pitcher or a fielder, or even some guys on the team also have kind of, their elbow guards. They've got some little special either inside jokes or initials, those types of things. Who else has some creative stuff on their equipment this year? Anybody come to mind?
I know Mike Bichetti has an Italian infielder's mitt, which I find pretty awesome. It's pretty good. I'm trying to think of a few others, but I know there's definitely a lot of guys with, just like inside jokes on their gloves or, sentimental stuff to them. But I would say that's the one great thing about using 44 is how much you're able to customize their equipment, make it your own.
Tell me about some of the freshmen on this year's team, namely Drew Burrows hit 4 home runs on Tuesday. Did you face him at all in preseason or in the fall? And how did that go?
Yeah, no, I definitely, I mean, he batted lead off every scrimmage I faced against him in the fall. Ironically, the bats went pretty long. I remember one time I had around a 20 pitch at bat off him. I mean, I've never told him this, but personally, it gave me flashbacks to my freshman year facing Kevin Parada. I remember I had two 20 pitch at bats against him. The first one ended up in a 110 double off the right center wall, but then the second one I finally struck him out. But definitely just, his contribution to the hitting side and fielding side of this team as a freshman has definitely been something great, and look forward to seeing him play throughout the season. Some other freshmen, I think, Tate McKee will definitely have a big part in our pitching staff. I mean, he has electric stuff. I'm just excited to see how he develops over, his time here. But yeah, I think the freshmen came in with a very good mindset of, not more me guys and more buying into the team. And that just helps our whole team camaraderie and coming together as one and playing as one.
Well, you guys have gone through the first couple of weeks. You got a 7-1 record, and now you're stiffest test of the season thus far. You've got the Georgia Bulldogs and that in-state rivalry weekend series. You had a big moment in this series a couple of years ago as a freshman, 3 scoreless innings out of the pen. What is it like taking the field against the Bulldogs, and how's the team feeling about the big series this weekend?
I mean, definitely it's part of the reason you come to Tech is playing games like this, the big rivalry, a lot of people filling up the stands. But I think you just take every week, week by week. And, I mean, as a pitching staff, we just preach like faceless, nameless opponents. I mean, no matter who the opponent is, we're going to go out there and do our job. It doesn't really matter what uniform you're wearing or, who you are. So I think in the back of your mind, like, yeah, this is big rivalry and we're playing Georgia. But when you're in the game, it's just another game and going out there to get a win for the Jackets.
Well, Aiden, congratulations on a great start to your junior season. And Tech fans, keep in mind, Friday night, McNeese Baseball Park, a 6 o'clock start. Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock in Athens at Foley Field. And then the series finale Sunday, 3 o'clock, Coolray Field up in Lawrenceville, Georgia, home of the Braves AAA affiliate, the Gwinnett Stripers. It's going to be a great weekend. And Aiden, we look forward to seeing you out there on the mound and hopefully getting some wins.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for having me.